Hey all. So today I want to talk about jobs and stress. I know I know I'm not alone in being stressed out at work or about work or with life in general. And, sometimes it can feel like you're drowning in stress, like you're in quicksand and you are up to your freaking shoulders and you can't even get your arm out anymore to reach for help. And, I know there's a lot of us that are like that, and you can't change jobs or quit your job because you can't afford to. You'll, not be able to cover your rent or your car payment or groceries or daycare or whatever it is. And, that's a shitty position to be in, I think for me, I've been through several jobs. I think I mentioned I got my aesthetics license in Michigan, and I was a licensed esthetician, which is waxing makeup and facials. And it was a really cool subject to learn. I enjoyed it. But when I was actually in a salon doing it, wasn't really my gig. I don't like having to be presenting myself a certain way specifically for customers. I had to have outfits and makeup and hair done and jewelry, and that's just not, sorry, my bad. That's just not really my style. And on top of that, I would fall asleep and doze off giving facials because I'm in this nice little warm room and, I have this relaxing music and these great smells, and I would literally doze off in the middle of a facial and forget where I was on my little steps that I had to do for the facial. So, well, just not my thing. I did enjoy makeup, but it wasn't anything that... several of the girls in my class were, obsessed with makeup. And it's not really, I'm good. I don't mind good makeup, but I'm not going to sit there and, highlight and bronze and, 15 different layers and steps just to get the foundation on. That's just not, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, obviously I'm super big into makeup because I'm always wearing it. So... waxing I didn't mind. It's just tedious. But if I could do eyebrow waxing and maybe makeup, I probably would have been cool with it. But you can't really pick and choose what you want to do. You gotta do the whole shebang or not at all, at least in the position I was in. So I decided to opt out of that job once that job ended. I've worked at recycling centers. 3 times I've worked at doing the panel wiring. And I worked at the one place where I did the rubber grommets. So I was running an molding injection machine, whatever it's called, and then inspecting the parts. That was a horrid, tedious job. I was glad when it ended because I was already looking for a way out. I hated it. Panel wiring I've liked from the get-go. It really, I don't know. It's easy once you learn it, and it kind of satisfies my OCD. But there's still stress that comes with any job, whether you like your job or not, And there were different reasons. There was a specific reason I worked at the recycle center. And I was trying to get another panel job when I ended up with the rubber grommets. So I prefer to stay in panel wiring. I have 3 years experience. And I'm good at it. It's not something that I would have ever thought myself good at. But I am. I think, anyway. Maybe I'm being cocky. I don't know. I enjoy it. The only thing I don't like is that it's a manufacturing job, and most manufacturing jobs are going to have 50 hours overtime mandatory, pretty much constant. And that gets to be really, really hard on the schedule and the time and sleep and feeling like you have any kind of life. You spend 2/3 of your time with your coworkers and 1/3 of your time at home, and most of that time you spend sleeping. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. And the panel wiring job I had before this one, I absolutely adored my coworkers. There wasn't any of my coworkers I didn't like, and it made work fun. Like, I loved going to work. I had a blast. Where I'm at now, I like my coworkers, but I think because the job I was at before, I got too close to my coworkers is why I lost the job. So I'm now, the last job I had, the rubber grommets, I, tried employing not getting close to my coworkers, and it worked for the most part. And I don't think it was the reason I lost my job. And, so there's just not anybody really there that I've gotten very picky about who I have in my circle, and there's nobody there that I feel like is like my tribe. You know what I mean? So I get along with everybody. I get along with everybody everywhere I go. I'm very, 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 very blessed in that way. I'm not confrontational. I don't tattle on people. Like, if I see you doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, as long as it's not affecting me or my safety, or it's not going to get me in trouble, then it's none of my business, So I don't ever have issues at work in that way. But it does get kind of lonely because, like I said, I'm either at home sleeping or I'm at work. And I've had this want to go find my tribe for so long now, and I just can't seem to find them, Not that I have time to find them if I wanted to, but I don't know, maybe that's part of the process. I don't know. So, back to the topic. When you feel like you're drowning in stress, it's really easy to get down on yourself and depressed or anxiety. And we have to remember that there's always gonna be those slumps, I guess you could say. It's always gonna come out the other end, and you're always gonna see brighter days. Just knowing that for me has been a huge game changer. When I learned, I think it was in a Tony Robbins video, because I struggled with depression really bad for a long time, and I think in one of his videos he said, you talked yourself into depression, you can talk yourself out. And that really struck me to the core, because, I'd been taught by all the, medical professionals and anybody that talks about depression that it's, it's all a chemical imbalance and there's nothing you can do about it except get on medication. When I heard that statement, and it really resonated with me and it really made sense, my depression has gone from, I don't even know how to gauge it, like 8 or 9 to like a 2 or 3 since then. And I'm able to catch myself more and know that I'm like talking myself into it. And when I catch myself saying those phrases that makes it worse for me, I catch it sooner and I stop. And seeing those kinds of results gives me the thought that maybe it's not so much a chemical imbalance. Maybe it's a neuron rewiring balance. Maybe if we rewire our neurons and our pathways to not go there, it can be a game changer. Man, these stupid lanes are closed everywhere. Oops. So being aware is half the battle. It's like denial. What's that saying about denial? Is, admitting it is half the battle, or whatever it is. So I just want you to think about that when the next time you feel like you're drowning in stress and there's no way out and it's hopeless and it's never going to get any better. It will get better. And when you catch yourself saying those things, stop yourself. Remind yourself, I haven't been at this level of stress up until this point 100%. There's always been ups and downs and ins and outs and lighter days and darker days. And being aware of that can make a huge difference. You know, take little steps, little baby steps that you can do to ease the overwhelm, I guess you could say. You know, take a damn nap if you need to take a damn nap. If you're stressed out and the dishes need to be done and you're like, oh my God, you know, the dishes can wait. There's a lot of things that can wait. It's kind of like choosing your battles. Choose your battles when you get to that point of feeling that stressed and that overwhelmed and that you're completely drowning. Start choosing your battles. Be aware of that and choose them wisely. Because when you only have so many spoons of energy, sometimes you gotta like back off and really think about how you're gonna use those spoons of energy for the day. So I just wanted to do a quick little video and let people know that, you know, there is hope and there are ways to handle it and deal with it, and it's not never ending, and you're gonna be okay, and you're not alone. By any means, you're not alone. So if you have any questions or comments, how do you deal with stress? What do you do when you're feeling like you're drowning and you're gonna, you know, suffocate and drown in it and everything seems hopeless? How do you snap yourself back out of it? What do you do? Comment below and we'll talk again later. Bye.